Okay, did trigger.
Goop Loop.
It's just a very, very sad impulse. It's like, put a couple more zeros on there.
Ho 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 ho! Goop Loop. Victory!
There we go.
At least for now.
That seems rather inconsistent. Like, that did nothing. What is it doing? It punched me out of the loop. Huh.
A loop? Within a loop? Is
No.
this meta?
A loop. A goop outside of a loop. But part of the goop is stuck in the loop. There's a little tiny bit of it that hasn't escaped. Oh, there we go. Oh, no. Hang on. Oh, there we go. We fully escaped now. If you thought getting around the loop was difficult before. This is why I wanted to test the punch before I started putting some nice art to it. I don't understand why sometimes it's just this limp little plonk that does nothing, and then sometimes it sends me into orbit. Oh, we have successfully trapped the fists, and now it'll never be forgotten. That's interesting. Hooray for video game physics. They love each other. You see, when a fist loves a loop. Bonk. I thought somebody actually triggered the punk. It might need 2 anchors. Well,
Victory! At least for now. This is still early access, so there's going to be more to do, but you can take some solace in the fact that you got this far.
Bonk.
Oh.
The fact that it just like swats down is actually funnier than what I was originally planning to do, I think. Donk. I don't know why. Why is the fist going this far through the goop loop before it collides? I thought it was just... what? That doesn't seem very reliable. What? Okay. Well, that continuous collision seems to possibly have made it worse. Oh, you know what? I wonder if it's accelerating downward because of gravity, but then I'm forcing the position, so maybe the fist is actually like offset down here because it's showing collision impacts there. So this thing could have like a crazy downward velocity. So we may need to clear out the linear velocity as well. See if that helps any.
Goop Loop. Ho 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 ho! Now you're cooking.
Making the punch more effective. Maybe it's not dragging along the ground now. Whoa! I need to draw a line on here where you roll up to get punched, and then I gotta have a good punch line in this game.
Well, you can finally scratch that off your bucket list.
Oh, that's interesting.
Ooh, man, did you just... Oof. That... Ooh.
Our goop stuck it to the bucket. Yeah. Spoopy Goop Ghost. A goopy spoop. I think it's probably because I changed that script location. Here's what we'll do. We'll just delete all the zeros. So I can see how many successful runs I had. Successful first runs. Statistically, how likely is it that when I write code, it'll work on the first try? It's actually higher than I thought, because it seems like code never works on the first try, but it definitely does from time to time. See, I'm already beyond 30%, which is more than I would expect. 36% of the time. So more than a third of the time. Right. All that work just took one sound up, but then it'll make the rest of the sounds a little bit easier. Uh-oh. Oh, whoops. I messed that up.
Well, if you made it past this, you can get past anything.
If you made it past this, you can get past anything. Especially Goop Loop.
Ah, thanks for turning me on. Wait, no, phrasing.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be recording any more lines tonight. Hopefully I don't want to have a power outage or anything here. It's getting crazy. If I equals 0, I'm just going to set the color to 0. Otherwise, we use one from our color collection. Okay, I think that'll do. I'm not sure, but I think. Hey, look at that, it worked. Wow. That's actually kind of surprising.
There we go. That was close.
Another white one. Gracious. Wait a second. Is it always white? It's like that same shade of white too. Now I'm starting to wonder, since I'm randomizing the color on init, it may be the same every time.
That looks good on you. It would really clash with my mustache though.
Yeah, okay. There's a problem with that. That's something we should probably fix, especially since white is a terrible color for this. So I don't want the first color that people always pick up to be white.
Well, you can finally scratch that off your bucket list.
Oh, the other thing I need to fix is now when you hit the bucket, it sticks. Speaking of raid streamers, how's he doing? Nice time to
at
mute
me, Blob. I'm trying to do my job.
Oh boy, this part's tough. Poor guy. I picked the perfect time to unmute there. Parameters are color texture, and we're gonna load that. If this is done correctly, we'll have a blending between the two. But first, we need to specify that we want to use the loop test material. And I don't know whether odds this works. Let's just launch it. Okay, so we can't do an instance on a shader material. Okay. Maybe I only need to do instances on scenes. Maybe I can just set the material directly. Ooh, hey, look at that, it worked. RGB. Okay, so now we've got a kind of reflection thing going on here. Such golden. Okay, so now I want to take the normal and remap the UVs based on that. We can maybe just cheese it by, you know, adding...
Hey, you'd better watch out behind you because...
Hey, what's up, Boogie? It definitely looks shiny.
Ho 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 ho! Now you're cooking.
I think it may be a little bit too golden. Also the way that rotates. That doesn't seem right. So we need the cosine of negative rotation, the negative sine of negative rotation, the sine of negative rotation, and the cosine of negative rotation. To do optimize, maybe. It almost seemed like it was doing the opposite of what it should have been doing. Maybe I shouldn't have done the negative. Maybe I was thinking about this backward. Let's remove all the negatives on these rotations.
Goop Loop.
Yeah. I think that's sort of more or less what it should be doing. I don't know. Close enough. Yeah. We got ourselves a nice shiny gold loop here.
Well, you can finally scratch that off your bucket list.
For people that do really well in this game. Yeah, see how it's starting to like go further and further through the loop? And it's like, it just progressively gets worse. I don't know. Oh, there it goes. Maybe, hang on. I guess I'll just set these directly like that. Position state.transform.origin.y. I don't know if this is going to behave any better. Alright, start position, maybe we need global position. Oh, oops. Ah! Okay, maybe that behaves better. Hopefully that fixes it. Still have to deal with the problem of sometimes the goop bit's getting stuck on the other side. Okay, yeah, this is behaving much better. Turns out I just did it wrong. So what I did was, instead of setting the transform of the object, I set the state transform. I think what was happening is that I was setting this object transform independently of the state, and things were getting out of sync, like more and more. But I think if I set it in the state. See, I thought the state was something you read and then you wrote to the other stuff, but this seems like it's working. Gonna make it a little more metallic. Let's see what it looks like. A bit dark. I feel like silver may just need to be about white. Adjust color adjustment curves. That's what I want to do. Brighten that right on up there. That looks like a silver thing. Wait a second. Why are we not rotating anymore? We had it working for the gold one, but it doesn't seem like our shiny rotation's working the way it should. How did that break? That makes no sense. Everything's using loop1.shader. Oh. It does make sense. And I know why. Because I'd actually modified the loop to be the gold material by default, and somewhere I'm storing a reference to that material and updating it. So when I change it to a different material, it's no longer updating the different material. Wait, why do I do that, actually? It's already on the sprite. I can just call material.setShaderParameter. Sometimes I overcomplicate things. Okay. Now our silver material
Oh, now you're cooking.
looks nice and silver.
Impressive. You've earned yourself the golden loop.
Well, there it is. Hopefully it works for the other things too.
If you'd like to try your hand at getting the shiny golden loop in Goop Loop, Goop Loop is completed now. It's up on Steam, and the sales help support me so I can keep doing this game dev thing and sharing the process with you guys. Also, if you want to support me in other ways, there is a Patreon, and you can get your name amongst these legends up here. I really do appreciate the support, especially considering how much it is just to survive these days. It's hard to spare any cash. But as a small incentive, I do provide access to the early alpha builds of Kook and Fist of the Forgotten if you're interested in those. A wild classic outro appears.